G'day ladies and gents, and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. And we're under fire almost as soon as the match started, so this is becoming a little bit of a theme for my naval games, is it not? Anyways, today's mission is defeat the semi-dreadnought. It's actually a fairly recently added mission. I think it was only added in the last patch, the last update to Ultimate Admiral. Anyways, the mission is to build an older battleship dreadnought design or a more modern heavy cruiser and engage a enemy semi-dreadnought and sink it along with its two cruiser escorts. Now the interesting part about this particular mission is you do not have to build anything else but your battleship or heavy cruiser. You're given two cruisers of your own as escorts, but you don't get to choose what they are. They're just randomized and delivered to you at the start of the match. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to work out exactly what the hell I got in the way of cruisers, and it turns out they're actually not bad. Little light on the guns, little slower than I would like, but they've got 18-inch torpedoes, so I'm not going to complain too much. So, moving on from the cruisers, what did I end up building as my main ship? Well, I went for the BB rather than the heavy cruiser. However, I didn't want to build a full-on battleship like I have in one of the past videos, and like I have been. I wanted to build something a little bit more logical and a little bit faster, so I went for more of a battlecruiser design. The ship was auto-named the Conqueror, and it's 14,199 tons displacement. It's got a 24-knot top speed. Its primary weapons are two dual 12-inch turrets. It's got 4 single 6-inch turrets and 6 6-inch casemate guns. So most 6 and 12-inch guns across the board. It's also got port and starboard 18-inch torpedo tubes for when it gets into a close engagement. It's running lightened and enhanced armor, reinforced bulkheads, anti-flooding and citadel armor, along with heavy shells for all ammunition on the cannons and enhanced reloading to shorten the reload times. So it's only got 2 calibers for the guns, 18-inch torps for when it gets into close range, and overall it's pretty heavily protected and defended internally. Externally, armor-wise, the base armor on the outside of the hull has been increased from 11 to 11.8 inches, and the frontal armor was increased from 7 to 8 inches total. Which doesn't sound like a whole lot, but because of the angling at the front of the hull, it means that nothing short of a 13-inch gun at close range is actually going to be able to penetrate the bow, so I can bow tank on my approach the whole way through, with my only exposed points being the superstructure. From the side, at any kind of angle, nothing short of a 13-inch gun is going to get through, and even that is, again, going to want to be fairly close. This should leave me a fairly tanky ship design overall, able to take a fairly decent hammering. The only downside is I did have to drop some of my top deck armor because I was a little bit overweight, so I'm a little bit weaker on top. And I do kind of pay for that at a couple of points. Anyways, ladies and gents, I hope you enjoy. Now the smoke screens, at least at this point, do just waft around the destroyers whenever they deploy them. I'm not entirely sure if this is planned to stay that way long run. Damage to the funnel. I can't afford that, please. Come on, Cardiff. I need that smoke screen. I'm not sure if that's planned long run. I know there is a mechanic in here for storms and wind and so on, and it will affect shell trajectory. I'm not sure whether or not we're actually going to have wind on the maps that will affect the smoke and potentially blow the smoke in certain directions. It'd be really cool if that's exactly what we got in the long run, but I just don't know. For the moment, as far as I can tell, it's just to be considered that there is 0 wind, and this is a perfectly calm environment to have an engagement. Alright, pop smoke. I can begin up to 18, accelerating Conqueror. So now we can see exactly what it is, and I'm not even going to... It's the Stephanie. I'm not even going to try and pronounce the rest of that. What have we got? Alright, so 2 12-inch guns. 2 12-inch guns. 2 6-inch guns, or turrets rather. Alright, so it's all 12s. So same firepower as ours, just twice as much of it. Less in the way of 6 inches and about a bazillion 3-inch guns. 4 and aft torpedoes in 16-inch category. So its torpedoes are lighter than ours. Actually, if I'd taken torpedo defense, its torpedoes would be virtually irrelevant. versus my my BB with a decent belt. Damage to the funnel, looks more like light spray than anything else. Alright, so we got 15% chance to hit, 30% chance to pen. Got to full. Maintaining 20, they're maintaining 21. I'm actually going to pull them down a little bit as well. Maintain 20. Hopefully we'll be able to close in on them. With this many torpedoes, with buddy... Yeah, with 18-inch torpedoes on basically everything, we really want to get within torpedo range and actually start sending some of these on their way. A couple of 18-inch torpedo hits will wreck these ships if we can. Damage to the main tower. Stop shooting me inside of smoke, you bastards. Well, I suppose it's not quite like World of Warships smoke. It just affects accuracy, so hits still have a chance. 3.7, 16. Come on, give me a good hit. I need a good hit. Falls short. That cruiser Meteor is closing in on us, 24 knots. Alright, all ships. Shift targeting to Meteor. Pull this thing apart. So maintain straight. Fell short. 7% chance to hit. Let's card off 7.3. She'll have torpedoes in the water in a second, although Meteor doesn't have any torpedoes. So she can't drop torps. But we can. In fact, we just have. Alright, turn away. And Meteor is turning to avoid the torps. Guns. Why aren't you firing? There's the mains. And we miss again. So I'm going to select the fleet here. Turn them back to auto because there might be opportunities here to get switch targets. Might be opportunities here to get sneaky AP hits in. Oh, how did that not hit you? That should have punched a hole in your lower hull. (14, 15% chance to hit. Nearly half reloaded with the 12. She's turning away. I'm going to turn the entire squadron back. Come on, fire the guns. Pray for a good hit. Come on. Come on. Cardiff, why are you turning away? Fine, detach. Control you separately if I have to. no idea what's going on here. What is that? Conning tower damaged. Are we getting the same problem? No, different problem. The pathing here is a bit of a problem. We should have been able to go straight between these two cruisers, and instead Conqueror is turned off on its own to avoid a collision, which is a bit, well, a bit shit to be honest. Conning tower is out, steering is out, engines are almost completely immobilized. One more major hit and the engines will be completely out. She's flooding to the rear, she's burning. She may be done. We can hope she's done. $17. Alright, we're going to turn these in. Cardiff's going in, and I'm going to turn Conqueror in as well. I want to get Cardiff down around this side, and Tape Town around wide, and Conqueror, if possible, I want to go straight through the centre. Alright, torpedoes away from Cape Town. 17%, nearly immobilized. That's a pretty good chance those torps are actually going to hit too. And the BB is now targeting Cape Town, so we've got to watch that. In fact, I probably want to actually turn Cape Town away if at all possible. Let Cardiff and Conqueror get in there and take up the rest. Come on, Cape Town. Turn away faster. Torpedo is going to miss, even though it was a virtually stationary target. We managed to miss with the torpedo, which sucks, but it is. Cape Town's funnel has just been destroyed by fire. Alright, so let's turn Cardiff onto target and bring its torpedoes around. Oh, direct hit from Conqueror. More fire, no more flooding. Just 31% structural. I just really want to get rid of this cruiser if we can. I'd like to get rid of both cruisers if possible, but... Alright, Cape Town, run straight back past our BB, please. Conqueror runs straight. And is that a torpedo? Yep, that is a torpedo in the water. And that one I don't think is going to miss. That should be the end of that cruiser. Should. Good, their BB is now targeting Conqueror, so we can deal with Stephanie in a moment. Let's turn on. No, it's still maneuvering enough that it might actually manage to avoid that torpedo. Although it is turning directly into it, so maybe not. It's gonna miss. Oh, that would have ended it right there. that would have ended this right there. Of course, you know, Conqueror actually aiming a shot would also do the job quite nicely. Come on. So Conqueror's just released another torpedo. So should we switch Conqueror over to save? You've only got 7 of those left. That one, however, looks like it might actually hit. Big impact to the stern. And she's down, finally. Alright, so Cardiff shift targets to Meteor. And we're going to bring the Cape Town up as well, also to deal with Meteor. While Conqueror goes straight after that battleship. We're at already at 10%, or nearly at 10% chance to hit. 44% chance to pen. Now she's got 12-inch guns, so she can go straight through us as well. So I do want to present her with a little bit of an angle and try and bring the bow around, because the bow armor is more effective on this particular design. Although actually anything at sort of this angle would be okay. And it shows we're bouncing shells, which is good. Actually, that's something that's worth mentioning. It's popped up in the comment sections of the last couple of videos I've done on Ultimate Admiral. About World of Warships being wrong and angling not being a thing in naval combat. This is actually completely incorrect. I'm not entirely sure where this has actually come from. Maybe just an assumption that World of Warships is an arcade game and it doesn't get that part right, but it actually does, but not in the way that's intended. The way ships are designed is different from, say, a tank, where there is a tank has a universal armor scheme, and if you angle the flatter parts of the armor, you'll get an increased effectiveness on that armor. Because of weight concerns, ships were always designed with... Ouch, ouch, ouch. That's not what I wanted. Ships were always designed to have their maximum listed armor at a particular angle. Oh, that was a Citadel. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that is pretty fucked. Okay. Now let's turn back. We have a cruiser to go and deal with. Well, that is what I designed that ship to do, so Conqueror just did what I wanted it to do. But anyways, as I was saying, because of weight concerns on the ship's hull, they couldn't give ships uniform armor without them being excessively heavy. So most ships, not all, but most ships were engineered to have their maximum listed armor, so that the listed amount of armor that they have was actually only at a particular angle, and that angle was defined by, you know, the designers working out what the optimal way to engage a target was in that particular hull based on what the ship's design was. It varied ship to ship, but it was usually a certain amount of degrees off the hull center line, and that was the angle that you were intended to engage targets at, and the ship's engineers would then set all the armor up on the ship so that from that particular angle, that was the point that the armor would always present the listed armor value. When you turned away from that angle, the armor would actually get thinner, and quite thin in some places, which is why certain ships were very vulnerable to attacks from certain angles and would only want to engage from certain directions. Sometimes they didn't, sometimes they threw themselves off. Actually, I believe Hood's approach was one of the ones. Her armor, if I remember what I was reading, was based on HMS Tiger, and it was optimized at something like 12 to 18 degrees off forward on the bow is where it wanted the enemy on its engagement, and then it would turn to bring its rear weapons around, fire, and then straighten back up, and that would give it its optimal armor. But the way she had to approach Bismarck in that engagement was actually off, and she was actually engaging at a position where the captain would have been completely aware that her armor was not at optimal, engaging a ship that had guns that probably could have penned her armor at optimal. But yeah, Angling is a thing in battleships. In fact, it's such a big thing that it's actually incorporated into the base level of the design of the ship. Oh, all the waiting and it misses. Come on. Almost reloaded. There's a shot. Ooh, casemate hit. We nearly got him. We're nearly on top of him. God, chasing you down has been a pain. 18. Don't make me pull alongside you and talk you, please. 19% and 100%. Any shells that hit now are going to penetrate regardless. Destroyed funnel. It's going to soar up even more. Maximum speed, no, maximum speed still 16.4. She must have had extra capacity in there. Probably because she's had part of her engines blown to crap. I love the little dings and you see a little flash point where the shell impacts, and you occasionally see the shell just go flying off into the air into the water after it's shattered and ricocheted. It's great. Guns again. Oh. Come on, Conqueror, you can do better than that. 23% chance to hit. You're right there. I mean, you should have snipers on the bow at the moment, just picking off the crew members. Dirty, 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 getting into the smoke. I will sail up next to you and talk to you at point blank range if I have to. There we go, destroyed main gun. Fire, flooding. Felt that one. Still 16.4 max speed. But that chunked her midsection pretty hard. I can't believe I've had to get this close. Like, I'm nearly in her smoke with her. Oof, oof, there it is. There it is. Ow. Well, magazine detonation in return. So, that's the end of that mission, and that one complete. Anyways, ladies and gents, I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you very much for watching. Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts will be returning to the channel very, very soon. Let me know in the comment section down below what you've thought of this one, and until next time, remember to click that like button if you did, share and subscribe if you want to see more, and as always, take care.